Okay, so if you watched my first video on setting up the Firebase, getting your Firestore storage and authentication set up, we can now move on to setting up the Flutterflow. On the Flutterflow side, getting your project connected to your Firebase and everything like that. So this is obviously my dashboard where I've got some projects that I'm working on, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. And I'm just going to do test app, and I'm going to do create new. I'm not going to use any of their templates that they've got here. Although the templates, if you're just starting out with Flutterflow, the templates are useful for kind of figuring out how things are laid out, how to use columns and rows and stuff like that. But once you get a handle on it, it's better to start from scratch and work your way in that way. Okay. All right, so I've created that. Next thing, it's going to ask for my project name, so just test app. It's going to want your package name. So I'm just going to leave that since I'm going to delete this after I do this video anyway. Let me bring that down a little bit here. There we go. So I'm going to leave setup Firebase turned on so I can go ahead and take care of this now. You can do it later. Oops. This is stretching out over here. That's not what we want. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I can't increase the size. All right, we'll just work with what we got. I'll move it around as I have to. But anyway, so you can set it up later, but we're just going to go ahead and do it now because that's the whole point of the video. So we'll do next step. All right, so we need to grab my Firebase project ID. So I'm going to pull this over here real quick. So again, this is the Firebase project that I'd set up in the previous video. So I want to grab my project ID to plug into Flutterflow. So to do that, you can go to project settings, click on project settings, and then right here, you got your project ID, project number, project name, you got all your stuff, you got your web API key and things like that, but we want our project ID, so that's what I'm looking for. I need to grab that, scoot that back out of the way, and I'm gonna drop that in there. Now, it's important to know, I've pulled my project ID, but when I click connect, there's a specific step that's missing that you have to do, otherwise it's gonna fail. So I press that. You can't see the warning pop up because it's out of the frame of the recording window, but down at the bottom it's going to say that Flutterflow does not have access to this Firebase account, and that's because you have to add Flutterflow as an editor to your Firebase project. So I'm bring that back over here. To do that, we're going to go to settings again, and we're going to do users and permissions. Then we're going to add a member, and we're going to do it's Firebase at flutterflow.io. So you add their email, and then you select them as an editor. Add member. So now they're added to the Firebase account. Now you can connect your Flutterflow to your Firebase project. And now we got the green check mark, so it's good to go. All right, so you can do this now, you can do it later. I usually just go ahead and do it for the sake of ease. You want to fill in this information with how you want it to look. Let me scoot this down a little bit so you can see generate files button. Takes just a second sometimes for it to do its thing. Okay, so now I've got the files generated, everything's hooked up, looking good. I've got green check marks. As per my other video of enabling authentication in Firebase, Now we want to enable it in Flutterflow, so now we have authentication set up. That way people can sign up on your app, create an account, log in, things like that. You can do this manually, or you can go ahead and let Flutterflow create the user collection for you, which I usually just do that because it's, they take care of it. So, and then you can select your initial pages. I don't have any pages yet because I'm creating from scratch. So if I do this, it's going to make me create a page to put in there. So I'm not going to do that right now. You can do it later. So your initial page would be like your create an account page or your login page, a welcome screen, whatever you want it to be. And then your logged in page would be like your home page, similar to a Dalo. If a person is logged in, this would be the page that would take them to when they open the app. Okay, so once I click start building, we are ready to rock and roll here. So we've got our app template, nothing on here, all these different controls around through here. So I'm going to stop this video, and next video that I'm going to show will be creating just a basic list, because that was a request from somebody of how to do that. So we'll do just a basic list feature. And we can also take a look at the settings, because there's a lot of settings and things like that. But if you have anything specific that you're wanting to know how to do, some tips, tricks, guidance, whatever, just post a comment and let me know, and I'll do my best to show you what you can and can't do. Bear in mind that I've only been using Flutterflow for a little less than a month now. I feel like I've got a really good handle on it, because I've spent a lot of time reading and watching videos and playing around with the system, figure out how it works. But there may be some things that I don't know how to do. So if I don't know how it's done, I'll let you know if you are asking for help with it. But I'll certainly do my best to try and find an answer for you.